Yes, ma'am. We canvassed pretty much the entire city of Moscow looking for places that were willing to or could provide us video.
And was it also important to think about if somebody were to come into or leave Moscow, the kind of video cameras you might find on those areas?
Certainly, that's good.
And that would be the east-west road between Moscow and Pullman, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Referring to SR 270/Pullman Road. They wanted that to refer to.
I know that as the Moscow Pullman Highway.
Yep.
I think that's the same thing, or Highway 8.
Works for me.
And that goes from Pullman out towards Troy in that area.
Yes.
So you may be wondering, what is going on with the Bryan Kohberger case? Well, at this stage, there are a trove of pre-trial hearings whereby the prosecution and the defense are talking about which evidence can be admitted in court and what evidence should have been turned over to the defense in the first case. Why is this occurring? Because these are the kind of court hearings and discussions which take place prior to trial. Now you can imagine if they let evidence in a trial occurred and then after the verdict there's an appeal because certain evidence was let in that should not have been. That's why you have hearings, to make sure that the right exhibits are the kind of evidence that should be allowed in a case, and ones that should not be allowed are excluded. Now in this particular case, for those who don't know, Bryan Kohberger was a PhD candidate apparently who actually deleted 4 people. So it's a very serious case. In fact, it's so serious that the penalty at the end of the case is that he could even be deleted himself after a guilty verdict. That's why you have so many pre-trial hearings on evidentiary issues. Now, the thing that ties him to the particular scene is DNA. Therefore, the case may be very difficult to beat unless he had the OJ Dream Team, which it appears he may not have because he has a public defense or a team of public defenders. Now, they may certainly be capable. That's not clear until the trial starts going on its way. Then you can really get insight into how good these attorneys are once you see the cotton thrust of a trial taking place. Some of the evidence that have been discussed at the hearing today are, for example, the thousands of hours of surveillance video collected as part of the police investigation. And the defense attorney asked how to find certain videos. Now, the Payne police said that thousands of the videos were actually from local businesses and residences, and it shows you how the world has changed so much. So this is not a case, for example, where you can go to certain European cities that are absolutely covered in cameras, or even New York City, but in the location where this took place, there were local businesses with cameras, and we are living in a connected world where everybody seems to have a Ring doorbell camera, security camera, etc. That is exactly where they got this video from, and apparently there's so much footage that the defense attorney is asking about the best way to traverse the compendium of information contained inside them. Okay, and then there's also cell phone data which places Kohberger at the scene, and even the victims in the case and possibly other witnesses would have cell phone data as well too. So it appears that there will be a few discussions before the case is set for trial, and that will be interesting. Given the compendium of evidence, information, data. It'll be interesting to see what the defense theory of the case is and how they present the case, because it seems as if the prosecutors are going to have a lot to work with. But the most important thing to do in situations like these is Make sure to comment, like the video for the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe.